Good morning, good morning. It is Motivation Station with Rose and Sanjay. Good morning, good morning. Hey!
Good morning, motivated people.
Oh, how are you?
Sleeping? You still sleeping? Wakey, wakey.
I'm
We're here
so
today.
we'll go over this, right? But this ironically, this is not the normal like depressing tired that I've been having for like the longest time because of like a lack of sleep and things. Uh I have a lot to talk about on like my plate before we get to what we want to
Okay.
talk about. So
Okay.
we'll start with you. How are you doing? You look
Thank you. I
radiant,
have
let
been.
me say.
Thank you.
I love the cup, the hair, the updo, everything. It's you
Thank you
look a
very
lot
much.
fresher, a lot more like, I feel like you've been not I'm not gonna say struggling lately, but like definitely I feel like today's you're just more out. You're more like, you know?
I definitely want to say this week I was hibernating a lot. It was taking out of me. Like I was sleeping a lot for about 12 hours. And my subconscious mind was just pulling out so much energy, like into the dreams. And it's just like, it's actually really good for you because it was releasing all of that, like build up energy. And this right now, I'm not able to fast, but I will go back to it next week. That's why I already changed my china to the beautiful spring china to the Easter china. And if you remember from last year, I don't know, but this is the beautiful china that I have. I said, you know what? It's time to reset my mood, reset how I feel. Cheers to that. And of course, every habit that we have that we use little by little, it's always at work. And as you know, I have been very religious about my skincare, so it definitely pays off. And I have been on my hair detox as well. That's pays off. And it's just one of the practices I'm gonna share later. Stay tuned for that one later. That actually helped me to be more radiant today. Also, I want to say Happy Women's Day, which is coming up tomorrow. I want to celebrate every single female, mother, wife, sister, aunt, a friend. I want to say happy spring. We celebrate spring with the Women's Day. We celebrate females. They are everything, right? Their strength, their laugh, their every, you know how women are in life. Without women, there's no men, right? Without men, there's no woman. So I want to cheers. It's beautiful. Water with lemon. And my beautiful martini glass that I scooped in Florida and I brought with me to Georgia. Every time I go somewhere, if I find something in China that I like, I'll scoop it, especially with the right price, right?
No, I was gonna say that's 100% cheers, by the way. But 100%, like the healthiest thing you can drink in the morning is the water or lemon.
Yeah. And
I just
it
spilled
created a
tea.
martini glass, it created the tea, it created anything.
Hmm.
So it could be my mocktail forever.
There you
That's
go.
my forever mocktail.
There you go. That's when I come to visit. Which, ladies and gentlemen, I have decided to go down in the month of April, and we'll do an on-site podcast. No, I'm trying to think because like I have to
Should
make
do it
it
on top of
better.
the mountain.
And what I meant, maybe we'll pre-record it. And the only reason I say that is, oh, we'll see because my equipment's here, right? Like my computer equipment that I use here, and
Yeah.
every time I use my laptop, it's been a nightmare. So I gotta figure out a better way to shoot it. But if anything, maybe we can either pre-shoot it, or do we'll figure it out. I still have like a month and a half for
We'll
that.
figure it out.
We'll
But
figure it out as we always do, as we always did for
maybe we could
72
show
episodes here.
the mountain in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully by April it'll be like warmer weather so we can comfortably go outside and not have to like freeze.
It was 75, 80 degree. This weekend is 80 degree here. So
But you know
I'm
what
not
though?
lying.
You know what though? It is this weekend here. It's high 60s and I
Pretty
think it's
warm.
70.
Yeah,
It's 70 for a change. It's still
pretty
cloudy and
warm.
gloomy, but yeah,
It's just the
that's awesome.
beginning of the little fall summer they call it. So it's
The timing, yeah.
beginning.
I mean, I think there is some like it's not gonna get freezing again, as far as I know. But I'm just happy the warmer weather's coming. But it's great to see that. I see, like I said, I see it. It's great to see that you're doing better and you're doing well. Um, and it's good to catch up on that. And I this week was a lot different for me. It was a lot different. So before we talk about our motivating factors of women that we've met in our lives and whatnot there, this week was the week I started my new job. Um, and it has been one of the most exhilarating experiences I've ever had, right? So besides the fact that my people that I report to, whether it's my coworker or my manager, super cool people, super kind people, super funny people, to be honest. And my role itself is just completely different. Like my role now
No.
is more administrative. So like I met people, they're like, "Oh, Sanjay, this is this person, this is this person does this person does that." I don't really work with them. Like they're there, but I don't really work with people on the floor anymore. So when I walk by users at their desk having computer issues, and I can listen to like, oh, call IT, they can fix this. And I used to be the one getting used to like, okay, well, I'm here, I'll fix it. I don't do that anymore. And in a way, it's a blessing because not that I'm tired of people, nothing like that. I love people, as you well know. But it's a different role, and it's fun to be more behind the scenes. So when things don't work, I get involved. So I not only do IT work, but I also manage like lighting because it's all powered by like it's called PoE, so it's powered by Ethernet, which is basically powered by internet. So there's like network cables for the lighting. I also help maintain like temperatures in rooms, so like our rooms with our equipment or the meeting rooms and things like that. So like I'm just kind of like there to make sure things are working like they should be. And if they're not, I talk to the right people to make sure things are working properly. And those people that I will be talking to, like the vendors, super cool people too. Not only that, Rose, the biggest, most exciting thing, okay,
Let me
is
hear it.
besides the fact that I work in New York again, right? Because that was always the dream. I want to go back to work in New York. They have a cafe, right? They have a cafe that has very good food, and on top of that, they have a cafe that gives free coffee, right? And this isn't like coffee that's like the machine. You go up to a machine, you're like, I want a cafe americano, and then they're just like, how much milk, whatever. No, it's like its own little coffee place, coffee little thing. So like there's people baristas there that make the coffee for you, and it's free. And you could put whatever in it. So I'm making coffee. I'm like, let me get like two espresso shots because I was very tired one day, and I was like, put the syrup, and like the cost of it and everything goes up, but then like when you pay for it, it's just free. And then they make it, you just go and you pick it up, and it's unlimited. You could get as many as you want throughout the day.
Wow.
So like now I comfortably get coffee every morning, and the coffee is like I've had Dunkin', Starbucks, hole in the wall spots are really good, but this place I was just like free coffee and it's amazing. I think you saw my story the other day too. There's a cafe shop right behind the building I work too, and that place was cute and cozy, as well. Like
Yes.
I'm just so excited to work in New York again. And then this just kind of adds icing to the cake, and it's been better. But the
Cheers
craziest
for
part.
that.
Thank you. Yes, cheers. And I'll say the craziest part is even despite all of this nice change, nice positivity, right? I still had days that hit me. I still had dark days that made me cry this week, and I couldn't figure out why. I was just like sad, like I was on the bus just like tearing up. And it's funny because like I
Tears of joy.
no, I was sad. It was crazy. Like I was actually sad, and I don't think I meant to be sad or anything like that. I just kind of got caught up in my own thoughts that good things are finally happening. The things I want to do in my life are finally happening. Like I'm just super stoked about all this stuff. But then, we talked about it a little bit too, where I'm like, am I deserving of the things that are happening? So I'm still like having the hard time accepting that good things happen to good people. But I'm more so than that. Um, I don't know. Like I just like a lot of my friends are going through a hard time. Like I've had some friends lose their job. I've had some friends kind of like lose their mind. And it's just I was talking to somebody yesterday about it, and it was funny because I was telling her that it feels weird because I used to be on the opposite end of that. Like I see the world around me doing great. I see the people around me doing better. I see the people around me rising, and I'm at the bottom cheering them on, like looking at them, wishing them the best. And not that I switched the role and I'm not wishing them the best, but like now it's like I'm up top here and I'm looking for them, and they need the help up. But I guess I should look at it as a
You were
positive thing.
climbing. You were
Exactly, but it's
climbing
it's
for a
it's like
while.
it's like
Now
what
you watching it from the top.
it's like what Chiamara said, right? Remember, she's like, if I'm gonna rise, you're gonna rise with me, right? And I've been doing my best to do that. I've been doing my best to get up, but then like I don't know, the days just kind of like really hit me, and I think what hit me more than anything is that, oh, you know what? Talking about now, I think I kind of see it a little bit more with clarity. But essentially, I had people that I talk to on the daily, and they rise with me and things like that, and they weren't there. And I think it came to make me realize that like there's people that like exist just to kind of exist and exist with you, But I don't know if I have a lot of people who actually support me when I rise, if that makes sense. They wish me well. Don't get me wrong. They're like, I hope you have the best of luck, or whatever, and things like that. But my biggest thing is that I always want them to be part of my journey. So I don't want you to watch me rise. I want you to rise with me. Take my hand and come with me. And I'm sure you've seen my Instagram posts. I've been kind of like in and out of it, but one realization that really hit me, and it hit me hard, was that like I put in a lot of effort to people. Like I put a lot of effort into people. And I think there was a point that I had stopped, and then I started again. Because I stopped because I got tired. I stopped because somehow it was making me sad, right? And then when this positivity started happening, I was like, all right, let me try again to be there and support people, right? And I do my best, and I'm not trying to blame them for anything, but like I just came to learn that you know, people don't make time. Like people will message you or reach out to you in their convenience to reach out to you. People only reach out to you when they not necessarily need something, but just if we're gonna if we're good friends, right? If we're very close friends, I mean, I effortlessly reach out to you. Like some people are afraid of like double texting. Do you know that? You know what double texting is, I'm sure, right? No, it's weird. I didn't know what the hell this was either. So people don't like double texting in the sense like if they text you and you don't respond, they don't text you again until you respond.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's double
So
texting.
yeah. So like, say if I text you now and you don't respond, I'm not gonna respond until you get back to me. And it could be some time. It could be like a day. And then after a while, maybe you'll do that, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the hell is even that? Like, if that's double texting, like sue me, because I like quadruple text, bro. Like I'll send 6, 7 texts before I get a response, Like and you know what it is? People think it's a bother. People are like, oh, I don't want to bother you. It's never a bother. I think we don't understand this, but like people are like afraid of things that just don't make sense. Like double texting. Why should you be afraid to double text someone you care about? Like why should you be afraid to be like, hey, how's it going? I didn't hear from you for a few hours, and I know you're awake. Hey, what the hell? What's going on? Like, hey, are you still good? What's up? I'll follow up with people, or I'll send them random messages throughout
Yes,
the day.
yes, I
But like,
understand.
there's people who will not reach out to me if A, I don't respond, or B, I just never start the conversation. And
Like,
Rose,
yeah, like for me personally, like right now I'm going through a lot of mental change,
mhm,
and I don't talk to anyone. Like I don't text, I don't call
yeah, yeah,
anyone.
yeah,
So there's a lot of people right there that are going through a lot of mental, a
mhm,
lot of emotional. Like I'm not depressed or anything like that, but I'm ecologically going through something that I need to release
yeah, of course,
in my life. So that's why it's like people like, oh, they don't reach out, I'm not gonna reach out. I don't reach out at all. It's like
yeah,
I have a list of people that I need to call back. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, like literally, I can't talk for another hour because it's gonna consume so much energy of mine that, and then I cannot. release my mental. Maybe that's why I remove sleeping for 12 hours.
Maybe, yeah,
just
you're more tired than,
just
yeah.
to like
No, it's fine though.
yeah, so it's every story is different, so maybe we can look at it at a different angle.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with you, but like in my circumstance, it's literally just that. Like
But I never heard
conversations.
of double
Yeah, I was
texting.
just
That's
like, I
it's
like
like
when they told, like
what?
one of my friends told me that, because so we have a good conversation that always goes back and forth, and it's cool,
Yeah.
right? But like if I not that maybe like I forget to text, but like basically we met at the end of the conversation, like we said the last thing
Mhm.
to the previous response, and then there's just no words said after that. Just nothing after that, and I'm just like, just message me. How's your day going? Like uh, I told someone the other day that when I reach out to people, especially people I'm close with, right? When I say how's your day going, I don't want the short answer. I never want the short answer of how your day is going. Good. I don't want to hear that. I actually tell me about your day. What happened today? Did you see a bird fly? Like I don't care what happened in your day. Tell me anything and everything that's happened in the day. Because for the people that like are in my daily, like I care about it. I want to know, right? And like, I totally understand where you come from. I'm not bagging you at all. Like, hey, I need that energy, for myself before I can give it back to you, right? But I've always been that type of person that like if you text me, I habitually text you back, right? Because like I it was a well, damn, it was like a quote I read. I read quotes everywhere, but it was like it's like we're different. Like you text me back when it's convenient for you. I text you back because I know what it feels like to be waiting for a reply. And I was like, yeah, like I like to be, I don't not necessarily expect a response, but like, I just like to text. I like to talk. And sometimes I can be overbearing. So I got to tell people, like, yo, listen, if I talk too much, just tell me to shut the hell up. And, I'll put away some time to shut the hell up for a little bit. But I'm literally a habitual texter. And I like talking to people. But long story short, so, I started doing some hard shaving, I'll call it, right, of reaching out to less and less people. I started putting time into the more important person, myself. um and I think that's why I kind of broke down, because it helped me realize that to put it in light terms, I'm more alone than I thought I was. And what I mean by that is not because like, oh, I don't have you, Rose, or I don't have my wife, or I have my kid, right? um I was talking to someone about it, and it's like we're still surrounded by people. We're surrounded by people by people that love us, right? But for some reason in us, we don't feel that. We don't see that, and then we feel alone. And a little bit of it is also, I think we might have talked about this on a past podcast, where I don't like opening up. Like I don't open up to I don't open up to fuck. I don't open up to anybody. I really don't, because I level it out, because I feel like if I talk too deep about myself, it either scares people, or in the opposite end, like for example, and I love my wife, don't get me wrong, I love my wife to death, but like I don't share with her too deep, because I know she's going through some shit. I know she's going through her trouble and her stripes, and I'm the type of person that will drop everything that's in me to go help someone else. I could be having the shittiest day of my life, but if somebody else is around me and they're having a shitty day, I go to pick them up to make sure they don't have a shitty day. So like when I talk to my wife, for a while it was always like, um, if I bring up talking about things, it was she was in a darker place, so she would talk about her things and she would be sad, and I'm like, all right, well, you're priority over me. You're my priority. Okay, what's going on in your life? What can I do about it? I mean, things started changing a little bit. My wife and I were talking a little bit more. She started going to the gym, I think I had mentioned, and I think her mental's clearing up a little bit better, which is good, because now we're able to openly talk about a lot of different things. But like I don't talk about it. And I think I said last week too about how selfish it is for me to feel that way. I think I had mentioned that how selfish is it for me to hold back how I'm feeling about things from my friends, from the people that are really close to me. How dare I take the opportunity for them to heal me away? Like, how dare do I do that? That's really messed up of me. I take that opportunity away from them to heal me. Maybe because I'm stuck in my own thoughts, maybe I'm stuck in my own darkness. Okay, so be it, right? And I'm really trying to work on it. But last night I went out for drinks with a few of my close friends. So when I had money, I would go out weekly with my friend to at least get a beer or two, and that's not that much. Happy hour beers, $10, $20 at the end of the night, whatever, right? And I used to go all the time. And when I thought about it, I thought I was taking them out, but it was more them taking me out because I needed to get out, you know. And at the end of the night, I was dropping my friend off home, and like he's like, "Hey man, you're saying in our Discord chat that like you weren't feeling good." Like he's like, we're here for you, man, right? And I know, and I know. I was just like, like I know you guys are there. I just, I was like, I don't want to be a. I wish I could speak with it without like tearing. But I
That's
told him.
okay. That's
I know, I
totally
know, I know.
fine. And I know how it feels to be not lonely, how it feels to be alone, right?
Mm,
Because I felt that back in October when I
mm,
had my first mental breakdown, like a severe one. And it's when I felt whole in my soul. When I lost my mother, it was like a whole big hole, and that's when I first time actually understood what I am alone in this world means. So you making me tear up right now.
yeah, I know.
And and
This
it's
goes right into today's
I
topic. Yeah.
definitely understand that because I realized that she was my best friend, and I didn't appreciate it when I could. Now I do. And I needed to do, as I was sharing earlier in some of the episodes, I did the whole therapeutic thing. I put the tree, I put all of the gifts from all of my friends. I didn't need to open up in a video and feel that and heal that hole because that hole was so massive.
Mm,
And sometimes we think other people can heal us. Maybe they don't have to. Maybe we have to connect with our soul and find out what we need. How can you heal that hole? What can you do? Because in the end of the day, we know we're not alone. We
mm,
have ourselves, we have our high selves, we have our soul. That's three things already together.
mm,
Also, we have 3.5 trillion cells that we
mhm.
have in our body that cannot live without us. That's a joke, but it is a true joke. So we
No,
need
no,
them.
no.
They need us. So
Well,
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say to
Different
that,
tears to laugh. Yes.
but yeah. When's the last time you shed tears? That this episode's hitting a lot harder than it should, and it's only gonna get worse because this is what the episode we're talking about, right? But it's crazy because like I believe medicine is holistic medicine and all that is true, but I think the greatest medicine honestly is like just human interaction. It
Yes.
really is, and
Letting it out.
I don't, but not just like letting it out within yourself, but letting it out with those people around you.
Yes.
And I was talking to somebody last night about it, and I told them like I have like 4 or 5 friends that I basically grew up with. Like they're my boys. Like they're my brothers, right? Okay, and like a few years ago,
Oh.
I had talked about getting in a car crash, and getting so depressed about getting in a car crash that I was like, I kind of wish it took me instead, right? And
Yes.
I was with my friend when we were hanging out, and I told him, and I told my friend last night, I was like, he started crying, and it scared me because the thing is, I think he was doing his best to be strong for me too, but for him to hear that, I was like, hey, listen, like I was just trying to be out. It affected him pretty hard. And last night when I drove my friend home, he was saying the same thing too. He's like, hey man, like I didn't even know you were going through these thoughts. I didn't even know you were going through any of this. And I was like, how dare I hold this back? Like, well, like what the hell's wrong with me? So I'm feeling a little bit about a bit better about it there, and I'm starting to open up to these guys, and I think they say the biggest enemy is that your imagination than reality, right? And I think I was just stuck in my own head about like I don't think
Mhm.
these guys are capable of of talking on that deeper level with me, and that's selfish for me, to think of. So anyway, long story short, last night was, it was a good night with my friends, and I talked to another friend online for a little bit, and it just made me realize that, like, there's people who actually care. There's people who actually want to connect with you, right? And it's like, it's not about having time; it's about making time. And I just started trimming off all the pieces that were affecting that. And I don't think people are necessarily bad people. I don't think people are necessarily, maybe they don't want to spend time with me or anything like that. But I was definitely prioritizing people in a way that I prioritized you while you kept me an option. And
Mm, mm,
that's not cool,
mm.
right? So I think it's been helping. I think it's been putting me kind of in a better, like, mental place, and I'm working on it. And like I said, this week is actually doing good. And as much as I look tired and things like that, I've actually been tired from just physically being tired, because I've been going to the gym a lot more. Like, I've been eating healthier, I've been dieting healthier. I've been going to the gym like 3 or 4 days a week. Mainly because I want to do some filming in a few months. But
For
like,
them watching us silently, hello.
oh, yes, hello. Thank you for coming by and silently watching and enjoying our show, I should say. Um, but yeah, that, I mean, it just, some realizations hit this week, and it just, I think I needed it. I think I needed to feel what I feel and go through what I went through, and go from there. So we'll go now to the topic of the matter, finally. And
On that one, I'm gonna share my technique now because it's right
oh yeah,
timing.
let's go. Okay.
Because what you shared that that we are a lot in our own head, and that's true. It's we live in our head, right? We
Mm,
live in our head all day long. We're not there while we're sleeping, but we're there.
mm,
So one of the things that I started practicing for 7 days now, which made me more radiant.
mm, mm,
Obviously, all the techniques are scientifically proven, and it's a neuroscience. That's something that I always learn, discover, pay for it, and and everything that works for me, I share
mm,
generously because I decided to, as we go into generosity, not just being generous with myself, also want to be more generous with other people, and I
mm,
know this will help. First thing in the morning, what you do, you take 5 minutes, you take a timer, 5 minute timer. It's only 5 minutes, guys. You write down everything that's in your mind. Right this second. Like right this second, you woke up after whatever you did. You have 5 minutes. You write down everything that's in your mind. Bad, ugly, good, great, everything. You unload your mind.
mm,
And then you take that piece of paper, you throw it, and you throw it out. And you do that every single day for 10 days, and you're going to see how you're going to start creating ideas. And you're going to see how your brain, your subconscious and conscious mind is resting. You unload it.
mm, mm.
When first time I did this technique, because we so in our head, we live in there, we don't even know what we're thinking about,
Yeah.
apparently. Because
Mm,
when I wrote down, I was like, wow, I was focusing on things that I don't have instead of focusing on things I do have.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And when I started like doing this every single day, it really helped me to be here now, number one, rat, and just be rested. Not running. My brain is not thinking about anything because it's empty.
Mm, mm,
So I would like you guys, my motivated people, and you Sunday, try it. It's only 5 minutes in the morning. You write down, you break the piece of paper, and you throw it out. You don't keep it.
yeah, yeah.
You release it. You release it. 5 minutes. This technique has been a miracle for me, and I definitely can tell that my brain definitely not this much, not quadruple. It doesn't have any other thoughts because it's left.
Yeah. I think we talked about this too. That, like, I get up now every morning just being grateful for what I have. Great. Just waking up itself is a blessing, and I think especially more this morning when I started letting go of things obviously out of my control, letting go of things that you know um, I invested into, and that I've been putting great effort on, and not because it's not re- not that it's
It's a
producing.
flat-ons.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, not that I expect it to produce results or anything like that per se, but it's kind of just like letting go, like just letting go, right? And if you know what they say, if something was meant to be and you let go, it'll come back to you. If it's meant to be, it'll come back to you, and it makes sense. It will. If it's meant to be, it'll come back to me, and if it doesn't, wish it well, wish it the best, and that's it, right? So I started taking a lot more care of myself, and now I think I have an idea of who's supporting me actually. Who's actually cheering me on. Even it could be quietly, um, and it was it's all mind games. It was all in my mind that I was so alone, or so like things going on.
Yes, and that is amazing to find out. Like, I'm telling you, try this technique and for 10 days and let me know how you feel because you can see the difference too. We we need to focus more, everyone. I'm not telling you what to do, obviously, but I'm suggesting like we need to focus on what we have.
Yeah.
As you said, you're doing the grateful techniques and stuff like that. But let's focus really on what we have.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking back
Because
because yeah, go on.
it's fine.
No, no, I turned back because I was like, what is that noise? So I just want to point out my wife, the camera angle is not even facing that way, but she crawled into the room to charge her phone, and then she crawled out, and I'm just looking at her like, first of all, it's
Scrolling.
blurry. You could just come in, do your thing, and leave. Like, I don't understand. Um, but no, I agree with that. Like focusing on I mean, yourself is like the most important thing. But the one thing I did want to say, going back to now, we'll talk about the women in our lives that motivate us, and it could be one, two, four, whatever it may be. But like I know for you, and the one thing I wanted to say to you was that like I know how motivating your mother was, right? I know how much like she meant to you and how much you meant to her, and like you said, she is not even was she is your best friend, right? She is your best because she's still here with you. She is your best friend, and my cousin also felt the same way too. But I'll mean it more to you because I know I can see the motive the I can see the relationship you had with her, right? And the one thing I want to say is like even now you're like you realize this after the fact. You didn't realize it after the fact. You just wish you could have done more, right? And the reason I say it like that is because you need to understand that you did do a lot for her and while she was here, and she did a lot for you while she was here, right? We always wish we had more time with the ones that are gone, and the realization hits once they're gone, like, oh my god, I didn't spend enough time with them.
Didn't do this,
I didn't do
that,
it.
yes.
But then, like, honestly, reflect back for a second and just remember the things you did do, the things and the honors and the amazing times you were able to have. Of course, we're always gonna wish we did more. Like I'm blessed in that sense where I grew up a little bit like harsher. I wasn't always close to my parents. I was I I just wanted to make them proud. That's it. That was my goal. I just I just wanted them to know that they didn't raise a failure of a son. That's it. That was my goal throughout life. But then I was so caught up in that type of mindset that I didn't realize that what, they love me. Like they put a lot of time and effort into me. And yeah, sometimes the love was a little bit tough love. Sometimes it was a bit rough around the edges, but it was all for love. And I'm lucky enough that I'm getting older and I'm coming to this realization now where I can give back, and I still can give back, right? And if I can almost bet all everything I own in my entire life, that if I go to my mom and my dad and I'm like, I just want to pay you back for everything you've done for me, right? They would tell me right off the bat, no, you don't have to do that. Like, it's not an obligation. It's not a duty that you must fulfill. They're like, us having you and us raising you was our gift to ourselves. And I try not to get stuck in thoughts of what their life would be without me, because it'd probably be a billion times better. But it's even rude for me to say that, because I mean, not that I don't know whether that's true or not, but it just goes to show that I don't even see myself as a blessing like they see me. Like, yeah, I might be disabled, yeah, I might not be the strongest person out there, yeah, I might not be the most successful person out there, right?
But
But
you have
goddamn, are they
happiness.
are they still like proud of me? Absolutely. But I'm just caught up in my own mind saying that I don't think they are. So like me doing this much, like they're super proud of me, and there's like, you're doing, like, do this for you, do this for your family, like you have,
You're good enough.
yeah, you're more than good enough, you know. And I don't know, I fight my own demons with that, but that's outside of the fact. But leading to one of the, for me, the most motivating women in my life is my mom, and I think it's safe to say, even for you, is your mom, right? And it may be for different reasons, of course, and my reasons are more like, I've never seen somebody work so consistently hard. Just like fucking consistent. It is insane how consistent she is, right? Um, she came to the U.S. At a young age. I think she came to the U.S. before she had my brother, which is over a little bit over 30 or closer to 40 years, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like, she had some education. She worked in a factory most, or if not all, her life. Minimum, nah, well, minimum wage. You'll make more money, whatever, and never complained about her job. Not once. She would just every day get up same time, go to work, come home, cook, clean, rest the 2 hours she has at night, to rinse and repeat every day. And she's so driven by it, even on her days off, even on like days that it was bad weather and stay home, even on the weekends, always looking for something to do. Always looking for something to do. And I'm just like, Mom, just rest. Just rest. And now more than ever, I'm finally telling her, like, Mom, just rest. And like now she's hearing me out. Uh, so Moon, it's funny because Moon is like my friend I actually just started talking to, and thanks for coming, Moon. She says, I gotta remind myself that I would never think of my friends and loved ones the way I think of myself. I think I had put a post on my Instagram before the other day, and it made me cry when I put it, because it was like, what if the world sees me the way I see me? And I don't think the world would be able to handle like that kind of vision. But like what I meant when I posted it was more like the people around me, my friends, my family, even my daughter, right? I was like, what if they see me the way I see me? Because I think there is at least a little bit of an understanding here that I see myself in such a strong light, right? And in such a strong way, whether it be negative or not is a different story, right? But the way I view myself is just, you see it, it's dark. I kind of, more or less, I kind of beat myself up, right? And I'm very harsh on myself. And I just, I don't know why I'm exactly like that, but it's like I feel the need to have to work hard on that for others, not even for myself, for others. But anyway, back to my mother. Like, she would be sick and still go to work. The only time like she wouldn't go to work when she's like bedridden sick, like she can't move and things like that. And even then, she would get up to do her best to make lunch, to make breakfast, to make dinner, whatever it may be. And I'm just like, this is actually absolutely insane. And there's like I think it took me getting into my later years that, like, love language isn't just saying like words of affirmation, like I love you or I'm proud of you, right? It's like, did you eat, right? Did you get some good sleep,
Quality time.
it's
Act
like
of service.
they
Mm-hmm.
ask you know how things are going. And it's funny because my mom would oof, okay, so I apologize to my mom for this, but there's times where, man, I was just a grouchy kid, or a grouchy adult even. And there's times where like I was like, yeah, I would just be like, yo, I didn't eat. Like, I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat. And I legit was not hungry, but to my mom, I think she took it as, my son is hungry. He just doesn't have time to make food for himself. So let me make food for him. Let me make this for him. Make me that for him. And then when she would make it, I would get mad because I'm like, yo, why did you cook food? I told you I'm not hungry. right? But that's like her version of like love language is like, look, I want to provide to you. And when we got older, when we got older, I told her, I was like, look, when I said these things to you, when I said I wasn't hungry, things like that, like I'm not opposed to not eating your food or anything. I legit was not hungry. And even now, like I'm doing like the fasting and the dieting and the long hours, I have to explain it to her. Because like in their head it's kind of like, oh, my son's being, I don't want to say bashful, but like my son is being like negligent. And it's like he doesn't want to eat, like he's just starving himself. And then when I tell them the process of what I'm doing, they're like, okay, it makes sense. So but if you're hungry, we'll cook for you. Uh, yeah, Moon, you have nailed that. Rose, next time you come to Jersey, right? I have to. You have to come. You have to come over my house, right? Actually, this is an open invite to anybody at this point. My mom makes the best lasagna I have ever experienced in my life. Okay. And like I
Okay.
told my mom, it's like so worthy. You should open a restaurant and only sell your lasagna. And that's it. And we would be successful. But then like I thought about it. I don't want to work my mom to the brim. And it's funny because my mom cracked a joke, and my mom doesn't crack jokes. Okay. So this was solid. But one day I tried to make lasagna myself. Like I tried to make it the way she does it. I followed her recipe to the T. Okay, I did exactly what she did, and it still didn't come out good, right? And she's like, "Well, you didn't make it with love," and I was like, "What the hell is that?" Like I was like, well, "I made it with love. I put so much time and effort into this." She's like, "You didn't make it with love," and then this is what I've
You
come to
didn't
learn.
sprinkle the love.
I should have just went, like or something, but like, dude, me and her, oh my God, Rose, me and her laughed so hard at that.
You guys have to make a
Uh,
cooking show or something.
Uh,
A video at this
no, I
point, how to
gotta.
make the
I'm gonna if I
lasagna with
I'm gonna make you.
love.
We gotta make shorts on our channel, and I'm just gonna make videos like, hey, I'm cooking with my mom, and like just like see it. Oh my God!
Yes,
But you gotta
yes,
you gotta
okay.
try this whenever you come up back up here, because I would say I would make it. When I come in April, I'll bring it with me. But I'll be honest, it'll get lucky if it makes it to the airport, because I'd eat it by that time. So, I gotta have you come out here, and you definitely gotta try it.
You gotta lock it.
Yeah, no, you got to put like a padlock on it and not give me the key or the code or anything. And even then, Rose, I'll find a way. I will open it and eat it. But
Ever.
long story short, yeah, I, oof, there's no words, like how much
Yeah.
love there is. There's,
We usually give a bunch of tulips. We have it right now. You probably see all over it's tulips. I know they're probably overpriced right now because
yeah,
that's the
of
main
course, yeah,
thing we
yeah, of
do.
course, yeah, yeah.
The dandelions and daffodils, all that spring flowers. Definitely,
I think
it's what do we bring to the day of beautiful celebrating a
the the
woman.
the best thing I did for my mother, celebrating her as a mother and a hardworking person, is, and it took a while for her to accept this, is I bought tools or appliances or whatever to make her life easier. So like I remember we had like the oldest stove in this house for like 30 years, and I was like, dude, we need to upgrade. And she's like, we don't have money. I was
Hmm.
like, mom, I have money now. So I got like all we ever had was like for example, like a washing machine. That's it. No dryer, just a washing machine. And we would hang
Oh.
our clothes. We would hang our clothes in the garage, hang our clothes outside when the weather's good to dry and things like that. And now I bought a new washing machine. I bought a new dryer. I bought a new stove. And at first she was like a new uh not dishwasher, a washing machine. Oh, dishwasher. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I bought a bunch of new appliances that like make life easy for her, so she doesn't have to sit there and manually clean and everything, right? And at first she was so against it because she's like she grew up old school. She's used to doing everything. Now that a lot of this
Hmm.
stuff exists, it makes her life easier. She actually sits there and relaxes now in on the couch, and she'll just like watch her phone, make phone calls, talk to my other aunts and uncles and stuff like that. So like she puts time aside for herself, and more so than not. And I think this will lead to the next few influences I have are like my wife and my kid is the biggest one. And now she spends more time with them, and then I think it's healing her. I think it's making her appreciate life more and be able to relax and spend time with my kid. And I think I think more than anything, she deserves that because it makes her happy. It makes her happy as shit to know that she has a little girl. More or less, I'm sure that's every parent's dream. And I think I told you before, my mom always wanted daughters, and she was disappointed to say the least when she had two boys. But it is what it is, and she still loves us. But she always did want a girl. So like me having my daughter was kind of a blessing. But yeah, I mean, even I think it's safe to say, even for you, like even to me, like your mother was a very influencing person. Your mother was full of life, full of light, full of happiness. And I think I need you to know, Rose, that you're doing a fantastic job, not only as a woman per se, but like a daughter to her. You representing your mother, you carrying down what she started, and
Thank you.
you gotta hold that with high standards, because she may not physically be here, but this gorgeous woman is smiling at you and always with you.
She was she was definitely a winner. I
Oh,
can proudly say that. For her to be able to be a firstborn, and her dad passed away very early on as well. Having
yeah.
three kids, moving all of her siblings from a very small town, village town, where it was only 2 removed from the city, 4 million people now. Second biggest, it's the first biggest city after the capital in that region. Move there, make sure everybody have a job, settled in, and losing her husband very early on, and just moving everything herself, finishing up the college. She was the first one who actually finished school, had a career,
Mm,
really good career for many, many decades. For about 45 years, she did what she loved, which is a rare thing nowadays.
yeah.
Uh, and just she did her best, and her husband was essential to everything she did.
People are still watching. I think it might be
She
your
is
internet.
definitely the one that did a huge thing for our family, and we're really proud to be her kids. And for everyone, for every single mother, I want to say you are doing an amazing job. Don't forget that mom is also a job. Always some kind of bots are trying to connect with us
Mm-hmm.
in our show. So, and you are doing amazing job, because being a mom, it's definitely a job. I'm not a mother yet, but it's definitely a job. It's bringing and raising kids to society to be able to be a good person. That's
Mm.
a huge job. That's an incredible amount of work and energy goes out there. So I definitely want to say, every woman, you deserve to be, not just on this holiday, every day, treated as respectful and honorable person of the house, because you are the energy of the house. You bringing in so much, and you create so much in the house. As we have this saying, you give your woman food, you give a grocery, she'll make you a meal, right?
Mm.
You'll give her, I don't know, money, she's gonna pay your bills and set up the nice table and create this coziness, right? So on. And that's why we should honor every female that we have in our lives, along
And
with males too. We should,
there's a
sound
time
weird,
for
but we
males.
should.
Don't worry. There's a time
Yeah,
for appreciation for males.
there's
Today it's not there, but no, we get it. I
you
thank you.
know, it's definitely. I'm proud of my mom. I'm proud of your mom. She's definitely proud of you. You know. because without you, she wouldn't be who she is today. She's blessed to have you. You're her happiness. Without you, there wouldn't be no Lily that she amazes and adores so much. And that is her biggest heart, as I know for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a joy to be a grandmother. I'm not a grandmother either yet, but I'm sure like my sister always waiting. She's like, I cannot wait to be a grandmother because it's a different story. It's
uh,
whatever you didn't give to your for I've heard this many times that the mother wouldn't maybe be strict to her kids, but for her grandkids, she's generous. She gives everything. She allows everything, any candy you want. So it's a
yeah.
different story.
Um, yeah, no, so I'm with you exactly on that. Like honestly, um, shout out to all women and mothers and the and the people out there. And for me, it's more. I want to also remind that you guys should be proud of yourselves. Um, and I don't mean that just because I'm trying to be motivating. I'm trying to. I really do mean that. Like I probably don't say it enough to even my mom. I probably don't even say it enough to my own wife, right? But I know it's not easy. I know having a little gremlin run around terrorizing the house and, being louder than she needs to be and, you know, constantly talking like I told my wife all the time that that so my daughter, like, she loves talking. You've seen Instagram, and Moon, I'll send you some funny stuff too, but like my daughter loves talk. She just loves talking, and at the end of the night she has a hard time winding down to talk, right? And my wife kind of looks at it as she's being bashful, she's being like, a little troublemaker. Oh, you don't want to sleep, but I looked into a little bit more, I studied into more, and it's more like the kid is just having such a fantastic time with you that they don't want the day to end. Like they're having such a beautiful time with you that they don't want to go to sleep because they want to talk to you more, they want to hug you more, they want to kiss you more, whatever it may be, they want to spend
Yes.
time with you more. And I know my wife is tired, I know my wife is a tired person, and I try to give her a break when she can, and I'm tired too, but this goes back to the whole I'll sacrifice myself for my wife, but we won't go there. Today's all about women. We're gonna stick to that. Um, and I try to give her a break. I'll try to take my kid out on my own, and we'll go places. And I told my wife, I was like, as much as we love looking back at my daughter, like my wife always puts up posts of like, this is how she was in 2025, 24, whatever it was, like her older time period. She would always like reflect back on that. And I don't do it as much because I'm like, I just love where we're at now with her, right? But I was like, honestly, one day it's not going to be like this anymore. And I don't mean that in a sad way or like a depressing way or anything like that. But what I just mean is that, like, she's going to grow up. She's going to grow up. She's going to do her own thing. Like, I remember this is how much we have to remind ourselves that we have to just enjoy the current time we have with our kids, right? So I do my best not to think about how she used to be, how she used to like the other day she laid on my chest, and I was like, Lily, let me tell you something. You used to just lay on my chest and that's it. Like your feet would, like, your head to your feet was like from my neck to like my stomach. You fit that, and now you like hang off my body if you like, like. And I was just like, that's crazy, right? But like I don't get caught up in those thoughts per se. You know why? Because she humbled me when I was like, you're getting older, you're gonna grow, right? And I told her, I was like, hey Lily, I'm gonna get you your own bed, because right now my daughter sleeps with us in the bed, right? And we just, we went that route and we had no problem with it. And I'll be honest, we at first we were afraid that we would crush her when she was small, but no, it was the opposite. She was crushing us, rolling around in the other direction she did. So we weren't worried at all. But I told her, I was like, Lily, one day we're gonna get you your own bed. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, you get your own bed. I'll put a little TV on there. I'll put like a little stargazed, little thing on top so it looks like, outside, right? And she goes, but I don't want to sleep in my own bed. I want to sleep with you, right? I want to sleep in the bed with you and mama. And it hit me that, like, she just wants to be with us. She doesn't care about having her own bed. She would go to her best friend's house. She has a best friend, crazy enough, but she would go to like her best friend's house, and like I would get okay. I'm gonna try not to cry, but I would get upset because her friend has her own room, and it's like a princessly kind of room, and there's all these toys, and it looks like a little girl's bedroom, and I'm like, damn, dude, I can't even provide that, right? So I kind of beat myself up for that, for not giving enough. But holy shit, does my kid humble me and be like, I don't need any of that. She's like, I just want to stay in the bed with you. I just want to sleep in the bedroom with you. I just want to sleep in your bed. And it's just in there. I'm like, why am I so caught on this imagination that's in my head that like I like it's you know what it is though, and I think I talked to my friend about it last night as well. Was that um our parents grew up that way. Our parents kind of grew up like tough, and our parents grew up in a point where it was kind of like we want to be able to provide as much as we can, and everything that we provide, it doesn't feel like we provided enough. And I had to gently remind my parents, I'm like, you guys have no idea how much you gave me. Like, I wouldn't be where I am. Well, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for them. But outside of that, like, like I'm like, life is actually getting good for me now, and I'm so happy I was able to have a family and like have that family with them here so then they can experience her too. And this leads to, I'm sorry, I'm sure you might have like another motivating woman in your life, but like I'm just kind of like oversteering with all mine. But the last person I want to mention.
Yes, you're going to have a new house and there's going to be a room for Lily. And
Yeah,
I know
well,
that.
yeah, and
And
I
that's
told her, I was
me
like,
in the
no,
future.
I was like, no matter what, you're gonna have your own room. And she's like, that's fine, I'll have my own room, but I'm still gonna come sleep in your bed. And I just started laughing because I was like, all right, I'm not gonna argue this. But then that leads me to the latest and greatest. My last motivation is my grandmother. Um, I'm not trying to pick favorites, but it's my grandmother on my father's side, and it was because like we grew up together. I'm not gonna say close per se because there was a huge language barrier. Like I just wasn't good speaking Indian, and she didn't really speak English. But man, this woman always smiled at me. Always smiled at me, even if she didn't understand a word coming out of my mouth. I'd sit there and be like, Grandma, look at what I built with the Legos. Grandma, look at that. And like, not a word was registering in her head of what the hell I was saying. And she would just smile at me. Just smile. And I remember when I got older, I had more deeper conversations with her because I remember, saying like, Grandma, I want to help people when I get older and things like that. And it was like the same smile. It was the same beautiful smile. And, um, I had mentioned this before that she was always my supporter. And it's funny because like my dad was harsh on me, man. My dad was tough on me, and I don't regret it. And I'll tell you why real quick. And it's because this world is fucking crazy. This world will beat you when you're down. You know what I mean? And the thing is, my dad wanted to prep me for that, and he did.
Mhm.
I'm not saying there's no beauty or anything in the world, but what I'm saying is that like it's harsh out there, man. You know, and instead of just like they protected me from certain aspects, like the fact that having a handicapped child is a lot for them, financially and just like mentally draining. But like they just didn't want to expose me to all the darkness in the world. But my dad did his best to be like, yo, you need to be the top of the top, you need to be the best of the best, because this world's gonna eat you alive if you're not. And then as my dad got older, he got gentle. But the biggest thing, Rose, is that my grandma would give him the hardest time if he dared raise his finger, if he dared raise his voice at me. He was like, "Yo, you don't do that to my grandson," and it was like the funniest thing ever. And I think that's why he kind of winded down, because like before her time, I think she still scolded him and was like, "Yo, don't be harsh on him. Like he's doing a fantastic job, right?" And even more so, and I think it's funny because like in Hinduism, we do believe in like reincarnation and whatnot. I'm starting to believe that there's bits of my grandmother in my daughter, because like she loves me, she loves me the the most, obviously. I'm the best, right? No, but she loves my wife. She loves my mom, right? But my dad, she loves my dad in such a weird way, okay? Because she'll give him grief. She'll give him a hard time, right? But but when my parents went to India, she cried for him the most. She broke down and missed him the most, right? And it was so heartwarming and so heartbreaking too. But like I remember when my parents came back from India, right? The first thing she did, like she saw my mom, we woke up that morning too. She saw my mom. She saw my dad. She forgot everything else. She went running up to him full sprint. And like she doesn't really like really hug him as much and stuff like that. But she was like crying, hugging him. And I was just like it's just that's how my grandma was, like my grandma always gave him the hardest time, but she was his son. And it was just like the funniest thing. So I think there's a little bit of a reincarnation of my grandma in my daughter. But you know like I said, there was just like a very strong unspoken bond between my grandmother and I, and she always wished me well. And I think I had mentioned that when she passed, it was hard for me to cry. and
Yes.
then and then like I couldn't cry, and then I talked to my friend about it, and he was like, it's her version of protecting you, her version of
Yeah.
making sure, and then
Yeah. I
so
have,
yeah.
yeah, my grandma from my mom's side, my aunt, she also went through a lot of rough times. Back where she grew up, they were like throwing stones. It was a harsh timing. She couldn't finish school, regular school, because she was Tatar. It was kind of like a between Russian and Tatar people, kind of always a war, and they were stoning Tatars. I don't know why, but okay, that was a history. So for her, she was working 44 years as a mover, a lot of heavy stuff she was moving, and
Mm,
the last 30 years of her life, she couldn't walk at all.
mm, mm,
But she was alive for 30 years, she didn't walk. So she was in her bed constantly for the last 30 years of her life, which is she did live till 90 years old. She passed away during COVID time in 2020. She was waiting for me. She was waiting for me. That was obviously one of the heartbreaks again for me when on the fourth day of her passing, she came to me and she said, I was waiting for you. You never came. I was like, Grandma, of all the things you could have told me, you're telling me this? Like,
yeah,
really? You
yeah,
wanna, you wanna not just a knife? She took a big sword, maybe a couple of them, and just
yeah,
boom, like boom, right? And my dad's a grandma. She's my guardian angel. She's my biggest guardian angel, and she passed away when I was 4. I remember how my dad was broke because he was with her for 42 years. He was watching her. She was blind. I don't know how long. I don't know much of the history,
mm-hmm,
but she was blind, and he was tough on him as well. And she didn't do much, just a couple of things. But I remember her, and she is my guardian angel. And all I can say is the women back then did everything they could to provide for their families, no matter how tough it was, and they never complained. One
yeah,
thing about my mom, no matter how tough it was, because it was, she was making only $100 a month, $50 a month back then in the 90s, and
yeah, yeah,
she still needed to provide for 3 kids. And my brothers decided to get married early on when he was 18, had a wife and a kid. That's on top of everything else, plus other siblings. And they always, every holiday was celebrated, every birthday of everyone was celebrated in our house. It was a big feast. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how women back then did it, but I am so, I'm just putting my head like
so
thinking
envious. Yeah,
because never complained, always had food on the table. We had a garden. We still have the garden house when it's always the garden. Like you don't even need that much of the potatoes, but there was always potatoes, all kinds of different vegetables and tomato, like everything. And every fall it was canned situation. We always canned that. On her birthday on the December 5th, we always opened everything that was canned. Of amount of work a female did back then, I was like, wow. I
Yeah.
don't think you can imagine. You taking care of the household, we didn't have any dryer. Still don't have a dryer in the house back over there. So every Sunday, we didn't even have a washing machine back then.
You got a
We
hand.
had
Yeah.
this like it was a washing machine, but it was like we had a top. Every Sunday was a top filled with water. When you wash and then you put it in the top, you wash again, and then you yourself like it was like drying and then putting in the balcony, make sure it's drying up. It's like amount of work was done, and then you have to iron everything. Now there's nobody even ironing anything. It was like
Yeah.
a whole process, and I don't know how they did it and never complained. Now
Yeah.
female does the one laundry, doing the post, I hate it, da, 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 and so much. I'm like, you didn't even iron the clothes. You didn't even wash it in the top yourself for 5 hours. It's just like
Yeah.
it was so much work. I remember those. I'm like, wow, I don't know how we did that. Having a laundry day, the whole. Obviously, when my mom grew up, they didn't have that even that luxury. They didn't even have a tub. They
Mm-hmm.
needed to take their laundry and go to the river. You go to
Mm-hmm.
the river. They have
Mm-hmm.
this like uh a wood. I don't even know how you call that. You
Yeah.
wash
I know
them.
what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. And like I just. Yeah. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know
That's how my
exactly.
mom grew up. I was like, I don't know how you did. They need to get water from the river. She had this thing. It's a wood thing. When you put like two aluminum uh, buckets with water, you go for the water
Yeah.
after school. And she needed to go like a couple of miles to school one way because it was that far, like five
Yeah.
kilometers just one way. It's like the amount of work was done, and I'm really proud of every female that went through that made it easy for us. We're
Yeah.
really spoiled. I'll just put it that we're really spoiled,
Yeah. I mean,
and
from.
we need to learn not to complain because we do complain. We
Yeah,
complain so much they'd be like laughing at us. What are you complaining
I think a lot of it is also, it goes back to what I was saying before about, like, a lot of it is just like in your mind, like it's like it's the imagination breaking you down more than the reality. But I wholeheartedly agree with you that, um I mean, I don't want to say women were built different back then, but it was, listen, my grandmother, okay, like, you mean, outside of the normal, I have a disability, okay. My grandmother at 92 years old, this woman was chopping down trees. Like, she's like, oh, I have to get wood for the fucking fire. So she would go into the forest, chop wood down, get like 6, 7 logs, and come back. And I'm just like, Grandma, I could have been the healthiest person in my 20s, and I can't do this. You're doing this shit at 97, And like I said, just like that to her too in English, and she would just smile at me and like sometimes laugh and stuff like that. But yeah, like it is crazy, and I'm not bagging people, women, and stuff like that for, like,
about? It's
complaining now,
amazing
because it's
what
like
they do. Yes.
it's a little bit different, obviously, but like, just like back then, yeah, like you said, like when you said your grandma was probably carrying the two aluminum buckets of water from like the river back to the house and stuff like that. Oh man, dude, I know. My mom was like that when she was younger. My mom's mom was like that was when she was younger. And like we have these now. You said just like that. We're spoiled. We have these luxuries in our house.
Yes.
And the
But
thing
the
is,
food was yummy. It was
the
everything
food,
from
no,
scratch.
but the food was always yummy. That's the one consistency that I think the women, at least in my life, like my grandma, my mom, that they carried over, that the food is consistently amazing, like no Christine, no offense, but you have a high standard to reach, because we need to carry this shit down from you to like Lily, and then further and further once it's past our bloodline and whatnot. But the food was always good. Even like my wife's mom, like she's Korean, and she tells me all the time how much she loves like Indian cuisine and things like that. And like she works too. She works I think like 6 days a week actually. And she'll come home and she'll make the most amazing Korean food I've ever had too. And I'm like, yo, this is
Mm-hmm.
there's something like I said, like when my mom mocked me when I
Oh
made
my God,
lasagna.
kimchi.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, when my mom mocked me when I made lasagna and she made lasagna and she's like, mine came out better, and the whole love thing, I was like, dude, I am fully convinced that I am not making this food with enough love, because dude, she's killing it. And I literally I put the same things, Rose, exactly the same, and it still like wasn't
You
it. And
didn't
I was like,
sprinkle it. Classic.
apparently. So yeah, no, I'll agree with you there. So I'm gonna say cheers to all the women in that life matter for us there, that made the most amazing meals despite going through the craziest hardships. But that's hey man, I mean, that's one of the best motivating factors I've ever spoken about, and it was refreshing to talk about. Definitely shout out to the women in our lives, and women in general. But it's definitely been helpful, to say the least, helpful for me, and in my mental. So yeah.
Definitely. You, the guy that always conquered the world, and most of it is for a female.
I,
Love always moved.
it's yeah,
It's moved to do a crazy thing.
behind
So,
behind every strong man that's achieved
yeah.
amazing things is always a strong woman who supported him, like somebody behind them making sure they stay up. No, I agree, 100%.
Yes.
100%.
So, cheers to that. And definitely enjoy this beautiful spring moment. We have a
Yes.
beautiful weather. I
It's
think it's
cloudy over here, but
everywhere
yeah.
trying to break through. Beautiful April showers. Here it's happening in March
Yeah.
because the spring starts a little early. It will get a little chillier later.
Hmm.
However, right now we do have this weekend the highest is 80-degree, which is amazing. So definitely beautiful. I can see the little leaves start coming out on the trees. My beautiful peach tree that I have started coming out with the leaves. I
Nice.
cannot wait. My lemon tree definitely. You give another like now it's like it's been 3 years. My lemon is 3 years old, and I cannot wait when it starts blooming, and I want to see that first lemon.
Yeah, no, that'd be
So
awesome. I'm hoping
definitely.
if I mean if things work out, we'll definitely be able to fly out more too. So it'd be nice to come out and kind of see it
It's
for
just,
myself.
yeah, so nice. We definitely, I'll figure it out about the mountain view. A beautiful. We're gonna do something. We're just gonna maybe we're gonna do a raw content. We're just gonna go live on YouTube instead of
Yeah,
the
we don't need.
stream,
We don't
and
need anything
we could
fancy
do
at
that.
that point. Yeah, yeah, we could
Yes.
definitely do that. We
All
don't need
right.
anything fancy.
We're still gonna be fancy
Uh,
because the view is gonna be like,
well,
whoa, right?
yeah, yeah, no, but what I mean is we don't need the whole editing, the music and all that, crazy stuff and
We
things like
don't.
that.
We don't. We don't.
Um,
We're
I
still
could,
gonna be
I could
an
probably,
amazing
yeah, we could figure
team.
it out. We could figure it out.
We
There's a
are
lot
the
we can do.
team. It's about our energy. At this point, we bring out our energy. Beautiful. I am so grateful and for this, and I'm really proud of you. Proud of you. Every single transformation that you're going through. It's amazing. It's amazing to see that now it's more about quality, right? Investing in a few people instead of investing in hundreds, and bringing that on and appreciating that, and definitely knowing that everything that you earned you deserve because you work hard for it. Consistently you were putting in work. It's not like it came out of the blue. People that complaining they don't have nothing because they're not doing anything for it. You are consistently searching. You consistently was doing work,
Hmm.
and now you're reaping what you sow, and that's okay to say, hey, I'm proud of myself. I deserve this. I work hard for this, and from now on, it's gonna get only better. You think it cannot get better? It can. It only gonna get better.
Yeah.
And by using the technique, writing it down 5 minutes every morning, what's in your brain to unload that unhappiness or whatever clog up our minds, just writing it down, throwing it out, releasing it, magical. That's what this week I've been doing, and it's magical.
Mm,
And I'm proud of all of our females that are doing an amazing job to
yeah.
raising these beautiful kids to this society and bringing the great energy, wisdom, and strength. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree. Shout out to not just all women, but for me personally, like the people in my life and the friends I've made and the people who stuck around. I appreciate you more than words can say. And thank you, Rose, for your kind words to me. I'm doing my best to register and be thankful. I mean, I'm thankful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not, but it's kind of like the best analogy I can put is like the sun is gleaming sunshine on me, and I need to take in that warmth. You know, like
Yes.
I like right now. I think I'm just appreciating the light of the sun. I'm not taking in that warmth just yet, but I promise you, I'm working on it. And
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I am I am I am proud of myself. I mean, thank you. No, I'm
Yes.
struggling, but I'm okay. I am.
It's okay.
But thank
It's
you.
okay. We do have a beautiful next week, a week and a half. We do have a beautiful St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and it's another holiday. And I believe that I gotta look into it more. This holiday was created in United States. It's not
St. Patrick's Day. Mm,
holiday. Yes, they don't celebrate as I've known. I don't know. Maybe they do now. They don't
mm,
celebrate that in Ireland. So it's an amazing holiday. Definitely amazing profit for the bars. It's
mhm,
number two biggest profit of the year. The day before Thanksgiving is number one, and St. Patrick's is number two.
mm.
Everything green. Your beer is green.
Mhm,
All of your. It's an amazing way to celebrate also springtime.
mm.
And of course, don't forget tomorrow we're changing our clocks. We
Yeah.
are moving to savings daylight, and of course, spring equinox. It's coming up
Spring.
soon as
Mm-hmm,
well. So,
mm-hmm.
so we got lots to look forward to. It's
A
a
lot.
beautiful springtime. Let's just enjoy every single leaves and the blooms that coming up on the trees. It always amazes me how a tree loses their leaves and come back around. It's a cycle,
Yeah.
and
It's
they
a
stand tall,
yeah.
and they stand tall.
It's a I think it's a Japanese saying that says it that like be like a tree. The tree may lose its leaves every year, but it comes back stronger the year after. Paraphrasing
Yes,
something along the lines of that,
yes.
but I agree.
Yes. I have three beautiful avocado trees, and two of them was frozen. I was
Mm,
so upset because they were
mm,
the tallest. I was like, oh my God, they're frozen. What I'm gonna do? I still kept them. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but and now, luckily, the God heard me, and the other branches came out. Yeah, no, it's still frozen.
mm.
The leaves are still stand still,
It's a work in
but the
progress. That's
other
what it is.
branches came on, and I'm like, oh yes, yes, we need to start seeing that. I love it. I have like that was my dream to have a fruit. Like every tree that I have, it needs to bring me food, right? So I have a lemon tree, banana tree, orange tree growing right now, lime tree, avocados. So
Mhm.
also garden season coming up. If you're any gardeners, bring out some comments and
What we need to do more
you
than
know.
anything is once the weather gets better, maybe like a month or a month and a half, and maybe 2 months or so, we gotta call Beverly back because I know the last time we talked
The
to her, she was
gardening.
growing. Yeah, exactly. She was gardening. So
Strawberries. She was growing
I
strawberries and
gotta,
kale.
I gotta hit her up. So we'll connect with her
Any gardeners.
on that. Yeah, any gardeners, feel free to join. But yeah, today, I mean, it's been an amazing episode, and like we said, we're grateful for not just the women that have motivated us, but all women, and we wish you guys the best time out there, and definitely be a little bit more proud of yourself. I feel like people don't pat themselves on the back enough, and I just want to say that you should. I mean, Sanjay, practice what you preach, right? But today it's for women that I know you guys work hard. I know you guys are going through a lot, and more than anything, I mean, look at me. If I can sit here and be vulnerable, you can be too. So never feel shy about reaching out for
It's a
help.
safe space to be.
You're safe. Yeah, safe space here. If you have loved ones you want to talk to, absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to um, friends I started talking to like recently as well. Like, thank you for being a safe space for me to open up and be vulnerable. I'm not a huge fan of doing it, but I think it has helped me. So honestly, thank you for that,
Yes.
and thank you for coming through, Moon. Thank you for coming through to our podcast today. It's a fantastic conversation that I think we had, and it was fun to share. And then Rose, thank you for always being you, right? Rose being Rose. Um,
Yes.
and I'm proud of you. Like I said, I know your
Thank you.
mother's proud of you. I know your grandmother's proud of you, and I'm super duper proud of you. And I'm so envious that did this. We're doing this, I should say. We're doing this journey together with Motivation Station, and there's a lot to come for not just us,
It
but
is so
for
amazing.
yeah.
Yes, it's just it opened us in so many ways. I can like I was when I was in Florida, we're in a cruise. Just a quick story. We're in a cruise.
Mm,
I could stand in the middle of the cruise with all the people around and just hosting it if I could.
mm, mm,
That's how comfortable I was standing in the middle of all these people and be comfortable
mm.
because of this podcast. For
Y-
me
y-
being able to be on the camera and talking, and a lot of people are shy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so grateful that it definitely opened up so I can easily have a conversation with people now. Like it used to be like, oh, maybe I'm shy, maybe this, maybe that, like, all that imaginative world that we do have as you spoke earlier. But definitely I want to thank every single person that's watching us every Saturday, 11 a.m. coming, watching us live or watching in their free time when they have a moment. A lot of people watching it while they're doing it on the background. I want to say thank you so much for investing your time, grabbing every single technique that I shared, grabbing every quote and maybe something relatable stories,
Mm,
grabbing something useful. You can use it, practice it, and see a huge motivation in your life going from the dark to the light. And if you want to share your story, we do have our email available, motivationstation@gmail.com. Share your story. Come be a guest. We're really excited for you to be our guest. And of course, thank you so much for listening us on Spotify every Sunday. We on Spotify. Please, you can re-listen and rewatch every episode anytime. We
mm,
had so many amazing guests, even
mm.
one-on-ones. Our stories never dull. It's always something
There's
to
always something
to
going on. I'll tell
grab
you that
on.
much. Yeah.
It's always something going on for sure. We are transformational. We are growing with you. It's it's our raw content going through a life. It's not always peachy and flowery. It's a roller coaster, and it's okay to have that. We have that. That's why we love you so much. Thank you for being part of our beautiful community, a motivation station for motivation.
I mean, nailed it. And I would say, just honestly, just like a roller coaster, the beauty of it is you're right. It is like a roller coaster, but even more so, it's exactly like a roller coaster because a roller coaster has multiple seats and we all go through it up and down together, right? So I agree that I think it's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to share. It's a beautiful place to even come and vent. Like you guys have seen me, Rose has seen me you know, bitch and moan and then cry as well on these 72 episodes that we've been making so far so many times now. But it has healed, and I honestly think on our next episode what we can do is talk about how different we are now, right? And what I mean by that is like I want to revisit where we used to be, because even you're saying, hey, I was a very introverted person, like I don't like being on a camera, I don't like talking, right? And I wanted to start sharing my end of it too, because I was very introverted. Like I wouldn't talk to anybody, right? But the thing is, I don't want to talk about that now because that's clearly going to be another hour episode. So I'm like, yo, next week.
Next
So
week,
next
let's see where
next
we
week.
were and where we are now.
Exactly. So next week we'll talk about how we were before and where we are now, and I think it'd be another fantastic journey. But again,
Yeah.
not only that, I do want to talk about, uh, I'm trying to put more exposure out there for Motivation Station. I'm trying to reach more outlets. I'm trying to
We're on
actually,
Reddit now.
I put it on Reddit, yes, and then I also want to make some more stuff. So I'm gonna make some mugs. I'm gonna make some stickers, and I'm gonna work on all that so then I can at least put it out there more. And who knows, maybe it'll fish and come back and it'll grow. But honestly, now I have the confidence that to do it. So, um, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm gonna say that without you guys, without you, Rose, without our audience, without the people participating in our chats, I wouldn't be this confident. Like I wouldn't be up for this. I would still be shy and just be like, Rose. I Here's the thing. I love what we have already. I do. I absolutely love this. And I was telling my friend last night as well. I was like, this shit is therapy to me. This shit is like therapy to myself, right? And I think it's safe to say it's therapy for you too, because there's a lot of give and take. We both learned a lot about each other and about other things as well. And even though, like, my marketing skills are absolutely trash, like I actually I still enjoy the fact that like I can come here and talk about it. And even more so that when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling a certain way, I come back and I hear my own podcast. And I think I said this last week. I listen to myself, and it sounds like I'm literally reminding me, myself, I'm talking to me, and it uplifts me and it makes me feel better. So I'm very happy with what we have now, but I'm definitely looking forward to the progress that we'll be making. So I want to say lastly, cheers to all of us for that. And we love you guys, honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, and we appreciate all the time and effort you've put into us. And we hope you stick around and find out what kind of introverted, crazy people we were in the past on next week's episode. So we hope you guys have a motivated day, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers.
Have a motivated day. Bye, guys.